Hey, welcome back to the Passive Buddies podcast. And today, obviously, set up as usual, Brian Mills podcast and the Brandon Duff is the co-host. That was the worst intro in the world, so I'm just going to run the
Do you want
opener.
to start that over?
No.
Okay.
What do you do when the dream of an online business makes you work harder than a day job would? The answer? You build passive income. On the Passive Buddies podcast, we cover the myths behind passive income and how to build true financial and time freedom. Welcome to the Passive Buddies podcast.
So for everyone listening, that goes to show, doesn't matter how many podcast episodes you do, you can still screw it up and it's okay. So that was the worst intro in the world, guys. We are covering how to create an irresistible offer today. And Brandon, my co-host, is here as usual, and he hasn't got a tank top on. Let's run.
I love it. Yeah, this episode, even though the intro was mediocre, the episode is going to be fire. So I'm very excited about making an irresistible offer for sure.
Why is an irresistible offer so important?
Because it provides, we were talking about this earlier about providing so much value that it's hard to stop. And so having an irresistible offer makes it where it's a no-brainer why you shouldn't join some kind of course or join some kind of software or be part of some kind of mastermind. The value that is given is so blown out of proportion, or is a 10x or 100x of what the value is than what it actually costs to join the program. And so having an irresistible offer is something that gets people in the door, and then actually providing that value continues to keep people into that actual program that you join and delivering on the results that you've promised, or the transformation rather. So I think that a lot of people, what they do in the marketing space is they think they have an irresistible offer by loading up all these bonuses and putting up fictitious numbers that make it look like they're getting all this value. But you have to actually think of is the customer or the user going to, sure, I can put up this spreadsheet's worth $1,000 when they know it's worth like $1. But if you say it's $1,000 and it only costs $10, they're not going to find that valuable, nor are they going to pay for that. So you have to think of something that is going to, in their minds, be irresistible, not what you learned in some class of putting up fictitious numbers. So you need to, when you create an irresistible offer, you actually have to calculate what you think that they're going to find value out of this, and if they're actually going to find value out of it. Because if they don't find value out of it, they're going to put a zero in their mind, even though the price tag says $10,000. The product itself is going to be a big fat zero to them, because if they don't see value in that actual product, that bonus, that offer, whatever the value stack, then they're not going to buy it at all.
Yeah, and to be fair, it's the way I see it. in terms of building the offer, it's about the transformation of value you bring to them. So if you're teaching someone how to how to generate $10,000 a month, because obviously that's the hot buzzword in marketing. If you're teaching them how to generate $10,000 a month, and then from there, basically, once they get to that stage, that's like 120 grand a year. So the transformation of how much is 120 grand a year worth to them, it's going to be quite a lot. But what you want to do is, the value in terms of the bonuses that you were talking about before is, it may be a spreadsheet. It may be email swipes. It may be a copy of a funnel, but it's how much time, and this is the value. How do you actually, to me, how you calculate that value is how much time would that save me? If I was to get that now, how much would it save me? So if someone could give me, say, 20 email swipes, all for different scenarios, from opt-ins to pushing up to the sales, to abandoned cart sequences. If people could give me them, that I only need to tweak opt-ins. If I could increase my opt-ins and my conversions through the email sequence by 10% by using this, well, I know obviously it's going to make me X amount on the back end, right? Okay. I also know that's probably going to save me about 5 to 7 hours worth of time creating a decent 5 email sequence. So 7 hours of time, how much is that worth to me? How much is an extra 10 to 15% of conversions worth to me? And that is the type of how you calculate that value in my head. The same with the zaps, the funnels, the spreadsheets. Like we talk about the cash flow challenge obviously because it's a hot topic right now, but and forever will be. Just making sure that was there. But that spreadsheet that shows them how to take a debt from 20 years to a year, or for instance, like that type of scenario, how you can reduce 20 years of debt, like that value is absolutely insane. Like imagine on the average debt amount, the average interest that would save, like that, there's your value on that. You can easily make calculations based on either transformation value or time saved, or debt saved. And I think it's easier to create those numbers, but people don't. I feel like you just say throw a fictitious number up, but to create an actual true irresistible offer with the values, you have to look at those elements. How much are they going to save? How much time are they going to save? How much money extra is it going to bring in? Like all those things.
Yeah. So like you're talking about the spreadsheet. So I mean, think about it this way: if you have $1,000 in debt, and the most credit card, typically credit cards are about 20% interest rate. So that's $200 right there in the year, and of how they can. So if they're doing that over 5 years or 20 years, how much is that going to save them? That's thousands of dollars. And using how to reduce that expenditure, and that's why it's also important to have different things that hit different kind of focal points. Like your focus is on time. Some people's focus is on kind of like how much is this value worth and how much am I going to make? What is the transformation? So you have to make sure that you hit these different points. We were talking about earlier of say the spreadsheet, but some people put in coaching, and they'll put on two one-on-one calls a day, $10,000. And you're like, bro, your value, or sis or whatever, your value is not worth like $100,000 or $1,000, $5,000 an hour. Like just put it in. People blow up these numbers to be like, to show as if it's over the top. So you have to do offers and things that actually make sense. Like if your time is worth $100 an hour or $200 an hour, or even $1,000 an hour, don't put $10,000, because then you're turning your irresistible offer into an unbelievable offer in not a good way. And like, I'm not going to trust this offer, because if it's too good to be true, it usually is. And that's people say that phrase all the time, but you should make it so that your offer is like actually stands out, that is believable, is irresistible, and provides a massive value up front. And if you can do those three things, I like to say that all three programs, or any program should have this trifecta. It should have software, coaching or training, and then a community. And if you have those three things, I think that is a great offer to give, because it gets all the kind of the touch points. You have something that is tangible, which is not tangible, but like software is tangible in a sense, because you can use it on your computer, you can use it on your phone. You have the training aspect where you're learning and implementing, and then you have the community aspect, so you have someone to hold you accountable. So all those three things allow you to really create an irresistible offer. And if you have a done for you offer, that makes it even better, or aspect to it, because then you're taking and saving the person actual time too. So there's all sorts of things that you can hit on and make sure that the offer is believable, but so good that it makes them want to join, and they're missing out on something that could actually change their life.
You're right. And obviously the coaching element, obviously people need coaching, like, because we're coming in, no matter what the space is, transformations come through learning. So if you're trying to avoid any sort of coaching, any sort of training, like you're going to struggle, because transformations come from that education that we didn't get in school. So like taking that, obviously you have to add that element. people love to belong to things. Like I went to a football match recently, and I know you went to one. Different types of football. Mine's the proper football. Yours is the egg catcher. But like we went to football. Both of us went to football matches recently, and I was obviously my stadium was about 55,000, I think there was. And I seen people like cheering and passionate, like as crazy as possible because they were part of like, it's my team, it's my club, it's my community. And I've sort of, I can't say as I've got older, because it's a case of like, it's more as obviously my journey's changed and I'm not like the working class hero anymore. It was a case of like, I don't identify, like, I love the sport and I love the team, but it's not like it's my everything. But people want to be part of those scenarios. That's why religions do so well, because it's that community feel, and that's why football and sports teams, because they're part of that community. Like people just want to be part of a community. It's a need in life, and wherever you find that community, like obviously Brandon's got a great one at the moment, and it's that community of people that are like-minded, same passion, same things. And if you can bundle that together and make a proper community, not just sell a Facebook group, but create a proper community within there, that is going to massively help, especially if that community is starting to shout out about your community. Like, for instance, like the ClickFunnels group do. Like ClickFunnels, like shout out about ClickFunnels all the time. And building that community and people spouting about that community really massively helps.
Yeah, they definitely have it's about that culture, right? They talk about having a cult in a sense, or there's the cult in culture. And so it's important to have a really good culture. And especially like we talk about why people love communities is because the energy in communities is intoxicating. If you ever have gone to a big like sporting event or concert and the music and everyone's like yelling, you can feel that energy. And that's what people love about communities too, is that energy resides within them and it brings people alive. And so, and you look at the Tony Robbins events where people are like going crazy, or you go to a very Catholic church and they're singing and everyone's doing hallelujah. And, all those things are going to create that energy and allow people to want to be part of that. And if you can have that energy transformation in a sense, it's going to keep people loving what you're doing. So it's important to have that cult-like feeling or that culture-like feeling, have that energy, and it's going to keep people wanting for more and keep coming back, because it's kind of like a drug.
Yeah, it is. Like people can't wait to get to the next football match to experience that vibe, that atmosphere, and those type of scenarios. So just to like sort of scale it all into one, your offers need to be realistic but irresistible. They need to have different things. So software to make your life easier, save them time, money, and effort. All of those combined is going to help people convert. Then it's a case of you making sure the value is actually there. Like you may inflate the numbers a little bit, but try not to. But like put real values of the time and the energy and the effort saved, and make life easy for them. People want an easy life, although they want a massive transformation, which slightly contradicts each other. But give them try and make it as easy as possible with them, and also obviously keep that accountability there and lead with value. That is going to be your biggest thing. That is why obviously Brandon's got a 70% like retention rate, because he leads with value. He doesn't ask for anything to start with, but makes a massive change in their life. And that is why people quite happily sign up to the cash flow challenge and stay with them for months and months and years.
Well, I mean, that's the goal, is months and months and years. It's a new program and people are killing it. But yeah, I mean, that's the goal, is to continuously provide value. At a certain point, obviously, I'm not a big real estate investor, but I enjoy real estate and I've invested in quite a bit of real estate over the years. And so being able to buy like these tiny homes and buy land and having an event there would be super awesome. So that's something I'm planning on doing, where we have like a little mastermind group where the tiny homes are already taken care of. People can like not rent them out. They'll be there. That's part of the package. So always providing value, always having that community. And I think that's the goal, is to have people sticking for years, but I mean, it's new. So I don't know where I was going with that. It was kind of like the intro, but yeah.
And to be fair though, obviously you have had people for years. Like when you look at the software, like people have been around you. Like when you release something, people buy because they know the value. So people have, although the 90-day cash flow challenge, like it's not years into it, but people have been around you and been buying your stuff for years because of the value that you lead with. So technically I was right.
Yeah, totally. I appreciate that.
Right, guys. So that is the end of the episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you on the next one.
Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Passive Buddies podcast. Have you begun your online journey yet? Or are you stuck on how to get it to work for you? Then why not take our exclusive free course, the 2-day Affiliate Commission Challenge, and start your journey to the rest of your life today. It's the first link in the podcast description and it's totally free. You have nothing to lose, yet everything to gain for you and your family. Enjoy our free gift to you, and the link is below.